G'day, how you going? I'm Ianapolis, your acrylic guru from Australia, and I'm going to teach you how to paint in acrylic. Did you see the painting in the opening credits? Well, I'm going to show you how to paint that today, but before I bring you all the way over here, I just want to get the size of my canvas up on screen, and we'll also get some colours running up the screen there for you as well. Now don't panic if you don't have the exact same colour as me. I'm only using what I have, so just use what you have, something similar, okay? Now how I'm going to lay this out, my horizon line is quite high up here because we're right down low looking out, okay? The height matters. And we've got a couple of rock hill subjects here. This line here, that's going to be the distant clouds going down into a polluted sky, and then we're going to have a beautiful wave coming across here. Now look at the lines I've got. This line, this wave's going to look like it's coming this way around to us, but this line here is straight. This other wavy bit here is going to make all the whitewash, and we'll just have some rock or sandbank or something in front coming across the painting. Beautiful colours. So first I want to start with me sky. Now I've got the craft paint. I just call it craft paint because it's soft bodied. It's like a craft paint, a student paint or a poster paint. And I like to get that with some retarder. I don't need too much because it's only a small sky footprint. And I'll get my putter on a brush. Message me on Facebook if you want me to send you out this and my blending brushes. And I just simply get this on both sides of my putter on a brush because this brush don't muck around. It gets the paint on there. So there's my sky. I'll crisscross this into the tooth of my canvas and I'll bring it just beyond my horizon line. Now this is a quality canvas cloth. I've just got taped to my board for filming purposes. You can glue this to a panel if you want, stretch it and frame it. Okay, I've got that on there. Now I want to get rid of all the lumps and bumps just by stroking it left and right, and I do that like a pure gentleman. Now those simple sky colours, I use cerulean blue. I've got some mid-tone grey and I've got some magenta there. So first I want to get the cerulean blue. Now I prefer cerulean blue myself just because I feel it's more of a realistic sky colour. Now I don't want it too dark, I do want it a pale sky, so we'll get this, we'll start at the top. I'm wearing it off the brush. Okay, I'm going to start bringing it down to my horizon line. Push it into that white. That white is allowing that blue colour to feed all across your canvas. If you do it just on a, see down there on the, oh you can't see, it's very dry there. That white and the retarder helps it, and it's going to help it blend like oil artists get their oil paints to react for them. Now we'll put some realistic values in the sky such as pollution and atmosphere. So I've got me grey, but I don't want it to be grey. I want to grab the littlest bit of magenta and slowly add that. It's very powerful, that magenta, and that's plenty. That is plenty. And I want to add this down the bottom of my sky area. Now there's not a lot on me brush, okay? I want to start at the bottom. Remember I had two mountains here. There's a gap in the middle of it. This you're going to see in between that gap to create distance as well. So we'll get this onto the sky area, all the way across, and then I'm going to start bringing it up. But with this polluted colour you put in your skies, don't have it going too far up because it only sits down in the distant horizon there. I see it a lot over here, and I'm pretty sure you guys do see it as well. So I want to start teaching you how to paint it into your paintings. Now we'll add some clouds. Now with your cerulean blue and that grey colour, grab some of this and you want to mix up your cloud colour now just with that mix there. So make sure, watch this video for one or two times so you know exactly what you need to do through painting through with this painting. Okay, there's our colour of our clouds because these are not white clouds. And I want to bring them, I'm doing the top and then leaving some footprint in there, okay? Now we need a beautiful blending brush for this. I've got a beautiful one here ready to show you. So I'll stop about there. I'll grab my blending brush. Now you get a 2 inch and a 1.5 inch I can get out to you. Now you want to just blend that down into that hazy colour you just created. Manipulate it so it's got that cloud vibe about it. It's up to you, you're creating a cloud. No one can paint a cloud better than what you want it to be, okay? We'll add more value to that later, but we're doing that all the way along our sky. Now all the way along this side here, I want to create this inside that hazy colour we put there. It's pretty much a row all the way along there like that. It's a different colour, but it's a real colour you would see in the sky. Now I'm pulling that down. Don't allow this to dry too much, or otherwise what you're seeing me do for you might not happen. You might think, what's going on here? You've mucked around too much and let it dry on you. There we go. I want to fix this one up a bit because it's looking a bit iffity-affity. So I'll get some, normally I put yumminess in it, so it's just this again a bit heavier in places. There we go. Because it's very dry, not much is needing to be wiped off my brush. It's going to be some hills in front of that. Now before it does dry on me, I'm getting some grey, but I don't want it pure grey. I want to put a bit of white with it. They're not white clouds, these. And I want to use this as my so-called yumminess. Get some kind of vibe in there. I'm pretty much doing the same thing again, but in the middle of that cloud there, okay? You'll see. There we go. Grab your blending brush. If your blending brush has picked up too much paint, just simply wipe it off. And I want to vibe that down to the bottom of the painting. This might look a bit like nothing at the moment, but once you've got your water line in there, everything in there, it's going to look quite reasonably realistic, hopefully. There we go. And step back, stand back and have a look at your work and analyse, see what you need to do in there. I'm just grabbing some of the more white of the grey. I still mix with the grey, but it's more whiter. And simply now, where can I go about here? Just dancing the corner of this this fan brush over that grey here and there. Push that whiter value into there. Let me look in the monitor. That's looking okay. It's cloudulated the cloud system into cloud looking subject to the painting, if you make sense of that. Alright. Now you can put any type of cloud. You don't have to go and use this exact colour and layout I use. Do them low on the horizon though, but you can use some fluffy, purpley, sunlit ones or whatever. I'm just doing like afternoon, probably overcasty type of clouds here just because I want to do something different. I don't want to do the same cloud over and over for you beginners. I want you to evolve and progress in your art journey doing so many different types of clouds. It's what art's all about, and enjoying yourself as you do it. Now I'm just grabbing a little bit more of that white just for those people who might want to see something coming out of the middle of your painting. I'm going to shape something like this, try and give us something coming over the head type of thing. Right off the painting. Come right off the painting, bang, done. Now look at a lot of the sky windows within that cloud there. Give this a base, flatten it out, don't blend that down to the bottom. If anything, you want to blend the tops of this out. Watch. Just twist and paint. You've painted it right off the painting so it's coming over your head, wherever you're standing and you're looking at this area there. Now this part's for the advanced beginner if you really want to go the extra mile. I haven't cleaned that brush. There's that whitey colour. I'm going to get the littlest bit of yellow and just to yellowify it. That's a bit too much. There we go. Now in that white cloud, I'll put this hint of yellow and you'll see what it has done. So work out where you want it. I want it there. And if anything, I'm getting it going up into the cloud, like flat and then fingering up. See there? Fingering up. Look at that. That's how I want it. Can you see what I've done there? Now, if you put it on like that and you're happy with it, leave it. Just because I'm blending it doesn't mean you've got to blend it. You might have already have done a masterpiece without having to go the extra mile that I have to do. And I'm just kind of sitting that down, leaving the bottom hard edge of it there, but pushing it into the... Try not to destroy too much of the white glare that you had going on as well. It's all about control and practice. Everything is practice. And that yellow has just added a bit more of a realistic vibe to that cloud. Now I've dried the painting. I'm grabbing some masking tape, and your horizon line, which is there, I want to just mask that up so as I get a reasonably straight line. Now I've pushed it, there we go, something like that. That craft paint that we had earlier, we're going to put that on the canvas and get yourself these colours ready. I'm going to use my yellow ochre, my cadmium yellow, my cobalt blue, and I've got a turquoise. Mine just happens to be phthalo turquoise, but grab yourself a turquoise. And I'm going to show you how to put these colours to make your water and your wave. So I've got the craft paint. It's got a little bit of retarder in it. Doesn't need over a lot in this. And I want to get this onto the bottom half of the canvas, the whole bottom half. And now we've got to get the different values of watercolours on there, and that white colour is going to allow those colours to move around the way we want. Now I'm going to start with the turquoise. The white on there is going to lighten this up, and then I want to put this onto the canvas to get it the lightest value that I want. Then I can stamp in the darker areas. So I won't worry about here for now. I'll just come all the way across here. I've lightly hit the canvas. Okay, and now I'm slowly coming to this part of the brush where the paint is to start putting more on. I'm controlling what I'm putting onto the canvas, and this will give me a footprint of this colour, so I don't have to gingerly try and step-toe this through me watercolours when I get to there. I want this on now, and this is going to be the lighter turquoise colour. This bottom bit can just blend down into buggery, into nothing. There we go. Now I have the cobalt blue there. I want to get this. You could probably use French ultramarine. I'm just going to put that on there to see. Yeah, that'll do. I'm stamping that on the tip of my put-her-on-a brush. And I want a darker vibe out there, so I find the best way to do this, instead of just brushing it on and hoping for the best, it's going to be dark across the horizon line. That's why I put the tape there. It's so easy to do this. Just stamp it on, stamp it on. This is quite easy. That paint there is very wet, but it's not heavily thick. And I want this about that far down the painting, scatter about here. I'm working out the area above and behind the wave. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm just gradually, let me look at my monitor there and see. Now see that, I'm just getting it where I want, right across the painting there, come off it. Now wipe that brush, because it's full of nonsense that can trip you up, and you don't want to be tripped up. You want to know what you're doing, don't you? We'll get this down there a little bit. Now I just want to waterfy that. So look, we just simply do this. Get right up to your tape, and that's waterfied. That's put all those dark areas exactly where I want it. Okay, that was too easy. Okay, I'm looking at it. I've grabbed some French ultramarine just to give it a bit more of a heavier setting of that colour. So I'm going over it again, just with some French ultramarine blue. I'm just wiping that brush. All done with the put-her-on-a brush, and we'll just come right across the painting there. Okay. Now at the bottom of my wave, I want some of this coming through here. So I'm going to start, this is the French ultramarine. I'm getting this laden down here. This is a heavier colour again. What the secret I found of what makes up a good wave is getting the light and dark bands of water in the right spot, and it can start looking crackingly hot. Okay, there. Now I need to wipe this. Now you can see why I put that brighter colour of turquoise first, so I don't have to dance that around all these dark colours. And I want to get this now. I'm kind of going like this. I'm not doing what I did up there. And that turquoise is still wet, I can manipulate it. Now we need a dark value of our turquoise. So I've got some yellow ochre here. I'm just pulling it into my brush area there. And I'm grabbing some of the turquoise now and just incorporating those two colours together, get that vibe happening. Yeah, that's the colour I want. Now this bit here is the beginning of the wave where it's starting to come up and over. You got me? So this is going to join on, stamp it on to the top of this colour you just put there, but also lace it into it and have some vibes of the turquoise there as well. Coming up around here. Might be a totally different way to paint a wave, but it works. You can control where you want all these vibes and colours. You can even grab another brush if you like to brush this into your wave area. I've got a flat brush, just nothing special. None of my brushes are brand brushes, they're just whatever I get. And I want to kind of, same thing like this, lace that into that bluer colour underneath. Now if this, which it probably will do, it goes a bit too light, just stop and put more on it again so it gets that darker vibe, because this needs to be a bit darker than what it is. So I'll grab some more of that and just simply, yeah, look at that, nice and dark. Pockets and bobs, bits and bobs of it here and there. Just lightly. If you go too much, you're going to push it away and you've got to start all over again. Now I am getting little bits of that colour onto my brush, just so as I can put some values of this down here, but I'm going to wash them into that colour. Not too much, that'll do. I might have to come backwards and forwards with the blue. Just want some Xy crossover strokes like that there. I'll wipe it off and I want to zigzag them through that lighter colour there just to give extra value. And then I'll pick up some of the ultramarine, French ultramarine there, and darken some of this back up because we've lost the depth of that. Want some real darker vibes of this here, especially around near that green. Stamp it on like that. Okay. Now everything's still wet. I've got that yellow ochre on its own now, just for the bottom corner there. I was going to put a rock there, but I'll just have it lacing onto the sand, I suppose, underwater. And this bottom corner here, I'll start off the painting. I'll drag this, I'll need a bit more, onto that white. Now this can fade into that turquoise there, all the way across here, somewhere like so. That's when we put the whitewash there. It hides all that, adds the detail, and gives you a cracking bullshit in your painting. Those of you who aren't familiar with my term using the word bullshit, it's just a better way when someone looks at your painting, instead of them saying, wow, they're saying, bullshit, did you paint that? That is good. It's a better way of saying wow. And I'm saying it in a soft, polite way, so it's not a rude word if it's used correctly. Okay, I've got some titanium white out of the tube. Now the painting is still rubbery and wet. I don't want it too wet, so I'll just start at the bottom first and see how this is going to play out. So, I don't know, we'll start from about here. The water's, stamp it on. Grab yourself a little scrumbling brush, as I call it, and pull the top of that into the water, but in left and right strokes, not up and down and all over the place. Left and right strokes, look, left and right strokes. Leave the harshness down the bottom of it. See how easy that was? I'll pick up some more. We'll bring a bit around here. Stamp it on, whatever's working for you. There we go. Wipe the scrumbly brush somewhere and do the same again. Bring it into the water there, left and right. This ends up being the whitewash. And lace another bit. Let's do another bit there just so it doesn't look so lonely. There we go. Work out how dry and rubbery your painting is, how far you can go before you start scrumbling it back. Leaving the bottom tight and fading the top into the water. Getting rid of any ugly marks that you don't want as you do it. Dragging them, lineal. Let me look in the monitor, how's that? Top only, watch. Very easy. Once you get to this stage and you've developed into a seasoned artist and you pretty well know what you're doing, then you can go from there and do your own things. But I'm just teaching you a beginner and advanced beginner might not know everything, how to do a simple wave section in the water. What I want to do is create the lighter area of the wave simply by grabbing the turquoise. We'll grab some of that over here. And I want some white. I want a really light vibe of that colour. Now I've got my scrumbling brush all clean. Now in here we need some more of this colour, lacing through and probably coming up here. Where are we? Bits and bobs. See this colour that's down here? Don't destroy all of that. Don't destroy all of that. There's going to be a lot more glare here, so we'll make up for that. And this is the infinity, which is the sideways 8. That's the sort of movement I'm using within my brush. Where's that colour? Adding all the, knowing where to add them, and it helps a lot, and hopefully my tutorials help you with that in your art journey. Now if you like what you see here, give me a comment, give me the thumbs up, share it. It helps the algorithm of my channel. And that craft paint underneath is the secret for this being able to work like this. But if it's a very dry, hot climate where you are, you're going to need the retardant. You're going to have to practice how it works for you in your climate. Everyone's climate's different, everyone's habits are different, so that's why everyone's paintings look different. Now I'm grabbing that colour just to start off with because I want to bring it from this colour to white. Now I'm just using a small round, it's a hog bristle round brush, and I want to get this on its edge, and I want to start with here coming from about this point. Now this is going to be a straight line across there, so where's my wave? I need it about that height, so let's work that out. So from about there, okay? I'll just show you. There's my brush, okay? You don't want it perfectly straight. I'm going to come along just like this in a straight line. See my brush? In a straight line, but it's going to gradually come up, down, a bit more vigorously as we come to the left and right. And this brush being on its side is going to help me just get that vibe that I'm looking for. Coming along here. Look how easy this is, down here. And see this bit? This is going to be the actual down thumping part of the wave, which is about here. And it's going to come down there. That's why I put this bit here, because it's going to be glary reflections in the darker colour. That's going to be simply there. Okay, see how easy that was. We've got it in a reasonably straight line. I don't know what that is there, I started wrong, but we can manipulate that. Now I want this scratchy. I'm going to keep going now and start getting this a bit more detailed where I want it. So this is the thin part of the wave. And over here, where's my scrumbler? Now if you want to use your scrumbler, you can. And what I mean by that is where you're putting this on, like so, just to there. Grab that scrumbler. I've washed it, so hopefully it's not too damp. And let's just see. Scrumble the bottom of that down into that lower half of the wave there, like this. Now we'll come across again, bit at a time. There, you got broken up bits within it. That's fine. You're blurring that down into the lower half of the wave. See how easy that was? That craft paint underneath is allowing this to happen. If you're just painting the raw colours onto the canvas, you're going to have trouble trying to create this vibe. So I'm just pushing it on, doing a bit at a time because it's the canvas is slowly drying, so I'm just working with that. And you can see how this is kind of fading down, and the more we add the brighter and the proper darker colours within there, it's just going to bring the bullshit factor out of it, meaning the bigger wow factor. So what I'm doing here with this scrumbling effect, what I'm actually doing is creating the curve starting to happen here. The curve, you know what I mean? And if you don't know what I mean, just keep watching the video, then you will know what I mean. It's that easy, eh? And you know what? These videos cost you nothing to watch. Now where this bit's going kaboom, you don't want nothing there, it's all going to be up the top now. So we're getting this up the top now, if you know what I mean. Now we've reversed it to try and create the vibe of the wave coming boom. Now what I'm going to gently do, same brush, same colour, see this colour here, I want to gingerly, and I mean gingerly, from here, that's a bit heavy, put that on, and I want to go up the top and down there, just like that, but leaving the darker colour there. We're putting the other side of the curve in, hopefully. And I might have to add some more darker vibes into this. Keep these scrumbling strokes left and right, just don't go all over the place. Boom, get that along here now. Blend it back. This is going to be the depth within the white colour, believe it or not. You can twist this brush to get those shapes. Don't go too far, you don't want it to stay hard, you want to be able to sit it down. Because this is the thumping bit of the wave, I want to try and get a bit of glare in the water here, but I want to leave a bit of dark between it. So what I'm going to do is just get this brush on its side and kind of comb it down like this. Not too far, just probably about there where the light's hitting it, so to speak. French ultramarine, we can start getting, just look for the pockets of dark now. These are what gonna bring it home. Just try and control your urge to go crazy with it. And we'll highlight this with pure white later just to bring everything home. There we go. Want some of this just there where the white's going to crash. You'll see later what I mean by that. Getting some of this scissoring up into the crest of the wave there. I think my cows are home. I'll finish that off there. You just want to, from this line, you just want to get a line very gingerly, right? Very gingerly like that, and kind of pull it down for the back of the wave there. Just so we got that vibe there. Pulling it down with the edge of this, the side of this brush, just like that. Probably there and there. So that's the back bit behind the white, as you can and will see. Now before I put the white on, I do need to get this colour here, again, this colour that I put on, because the white's going to be the last bit. So where these are kind of, we've got glare and reflections in the crest of the wave here. This will all make sense. Okay. Now for the white down here, I've got the white, but that colour that I already had, I want to just taint it with that so it's not pure white. Just taint it with that. See, I've put bugger all in there, but it's enough to taint it so I can come back with pure white at the very end just to crisp it up with some bullshit sparkles. Grab your Malcolm Mal stick if you need it. And now we want to, I'll start from about here, where I will hide that bit there. So what I'm doing now is I've got to wear some of this off the brush. So I'm going to just dingle, dangle and spray it around. Let some of it break up. Where are we? Come along here. There's dark bits and dull bits. Now see this colour here, you want to hide that at the very top. Hide it. If anything, you can leave it underneath, but hide it at the very top. Okay. Now we've got some wave, just the wind's hitting it as it's lifting up, trying to clap and splash down. Okay. See here, I want a lot of, oh, that's still too heavy. Take your time, it'll work. You want to create the spray off the back of there. Now this spray I want pretty much all in that area as well, because it's very windy and it's just lifting. There we go. I'm coming off this and going, don't go too round, you want to go up a bit. And when I put the actual colour, which is here, I'll do some more here now. I don't want to bore you with the same. Gradually let that fade into there. Let me get some more of this spraying up. Where's that bit here? Right up there. You can come in front of that dark bit. You don't have to leave it like I did there. And that'll create the extra bullshit for your painting. Coming along here now, I'm just chasing down the actual crest here. Getting this dirty tainted white. It's very dirty and tainted. Twisting my brush as I go, creating the top whitewash on that wave. Now it is important. See, I've done it here and it looks, you know these bits that we brought down, you want the lightest touch on top of them. So we've got our lights and darks there, because this is just the glare. Bit more here, there's not enough. Concentrate. There we go. I remember when I started, I was like, that's going to be hard, but practice proves you wrong. Okay, let's bring this bit to life now. So this is coming, I'll get the edge done first and then I'll do the actual spray. So there. And this colour we put on is, well, if there's any of it left, probably not a lot of it left, but helps create the depth. And all this is going to go over this green bit that we put here. Let me get here first, on top of that dark bit. There we go. Whirl it around. I'm getting the thickness of it, and then I'm going to blend it away to the less thickness of it with this little brush still, and then I want to, hang on, get this about coming down there with all the spray. Oh, that's too heavy there. I don't want you to just take your time, work your way up. Just past that line you put there with this bit of spray here. See where you got, I'll just show you. Like, this is quite a heavy bit here. Watch this, watch how easy it is to add bullshit. You ready? We're going to come across here with this brighter colour, and see there, we're going to add the glare into water. The reflection from that is down into the lower half. That's what I did over here. Very thick there. I want a bit more. Some of this spray can be extended. Just looking at it, analysing it. It's always good to analyse your work. I haven't finished yet, I've got to get back to that wave, but before I do, I'm just using some of this colour. If you want to highlight some of this stuff down there, just gingerly and gently kiss the canvas and then twist it and let it make some natural looking lines. Reflections of that into this darker colour. There we go. Now we're going to bring the pure white into it. I've just picked up my titanium white and I'm getting the pure white now, and coming across here, very gingerly, getting the bottom side of this tight with the white and hitting it with the brush, right? And then just tasseling it upwards. And we can get very dotty. Get it off your brush so as you can start creating the water droplets in the air. And look at that. Now see that tainted white? You want to stamp this on top of it, being able to see that tainted white underneath though. Don't go over the whole damn lot. Lots of droplets in the water, in the air there, look at that. Now I want to get over to this slapping part of the wave so you can see how that's going to look. Right from the very edge and drag those. This is so white here, boom. Not getting rid of all that tainted white. It's important you leave a lot of that there. Now I do have a small deer foot. It's a brush. Do dots. I'll get it off the side of the painting there first because that's too thick. And then watch. We can get our... If you have a brush similar to this, it doesn't have to be a deer foot, so long as it can do these dots. They're the water droplets. And you can have some concentrated areas coming out from here. And we're going to bring this all the way across our wave. There's a nice concentrated bit there. Now we need a bit more heaviness here, I'm feeling. So I'm coming from the base and bringing all these water droplets up thicker here. Now I am grabbing a bit more of that tainted white. I'm just grabbing this brush on its edge. I did a bit there, it was too bright though, because I just want to get some surface on here. But I want to do it hopefully not destroying what I've already done. Very lightly. Just where the sun's hit it a bit there. So mainly on these glary bits you put there. Some of it here. Now I've grabbed a little bit of that cadmium yellow with the turquoise just to get this colour here. And see these heavier bits, I just did a bit there to test it because I wasn't sure if it's going to work or not. Just on the right side of it I'll do it. I want to put depth within the top of the wave, and obviously the light is coming through that area just to brighten it up a bit. Nice and tight against the white and let it fade down into the wave body just like that. Where our eye, let's say this is the eye of the wave, we can just tassel some of this out. Now hopefully this has done more good than harm to my painting. I'll have a look at my monitor in a minute, but at the moment I'm just trying to bear the pain in my knee because I'm bending my knee backwards as I lean over my easel here. Up there, nice and tight. And then you can obviously put back the white if you've gone over some of your white, your pure white. I'm not too happy with this here, so what I'm going to do, I'll do it on camera just so you can see what I'm doing. Some of you might know where I'm going to attack, some of you might not, but anyway, see this bit here? I don't like it. So I'm going to grab the colour that I went into, which was that very dull faded turquoisey colour, which is there, and I'm just going to try and go very little on my brush, and I just want to kind of kick that back a bit. Just kick it back. So that's what I say in a lot of my tutorials. When you're doing your lights and your darks, if you've overdone it, you can always, like I just said here, kick it back. Grab yourself a flat brush. I'll go with me burnt umber first to base it in, and then I'll darken, lighten it and mix it as we go. So I'll grab my bullshit stick and we'll get the bottom of them lined in, so pretty much all the way from there, come all the way around, out over here somewhere. Now, I want, where did I say that sky was going to peek through the middle? So we'll come up here, just a nice cliff, rock, hill, mountain thing that they might have out there, and something up here. Now I'll just block it in with this colour. Now I'll dry that. Just grabbing some of the black into the burnt umber. I want to turn the brush upside down. I want to get at least the base of this reasonably dark, but I want this a little bit straighter because I want this one a little bit lower than the further one out, just so it's giving a perspective. And this is just pretty much going to fan out from the bottom, just like so. Where are we? Now this one here that's going to be behind, I could probably get some darkness there, so I'll just do that. And just very gingerly. And then this side here, where are we? We'll get this darkened up. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this flat brush and just sort of, where do I want some rocks and shadow for them, I'll kind of put that there, get rid of that blob there. And the same on the other one. I want to this here a bit. Get some darkness in there, bits and bobs. So I'll grab the yellow oxide now, and I could probably put, because it's a bit loud, a little bit of the burnt umber with it. Can you see there? And I'll just make it marbly, meaning it's not 100% mixed, it's just got those marbly lines through it. And where are we? I'll get rid of a lot of the bulk off the brush up there, and I'll try and make my mountain come down. I'll just do it on this sort of angle. This is just something quick because I forgot to put it in. Got carried away on that wave, didn't I? There we go. Scratchy, doodah-y bits. Look in my monitor, is that kind of, yeah, that's sort of doing what I want it to do, I suppose. Now back down here, I'll just simply pick up the yellow ochre on its own with a bit of white. That can be marbly as well. When you're doing rocks, I feel it doesn't have to be fully mixed, it can be marble mix, like that, okay? And let's just work out where we want light hitting that rock. And if you need be, you can dry them. So we'll get, where are we? We'll come along here, little bits of light just hitting there, just little bits like that, see? You got shadow there, so we'll get some light hitting there. Scratchy, very scratchy, come along down here. Can I have a look in that? That's sort of, oh, it's looking a bit dotty, so I'll just change it up a bit. Can't believe I forgot this. Left it out. And I'll just grab that darker colour again and watch this, just to finish it up. So it's the browny black burnt umbery. Wipe it off the brush and see here how it looks solid. I want to kind of just ubulate it through the mountain there, kill some of the loud, vibey bits that you're not happy with. How's that looking? Not too bad. I like that shadow look there, that's looking good. We can bring some of that down here. I'm not thinking, I'm just wiggling my brush around and looking in my monitor. Right, let's whack a frame on this and see how she looks. So down here I'll put a tiny little autograph. I don't want to ruin the painting with it. And I want to thank my patrons and my YouTube members who support me every month. Much appreciated, it helps my channel out a lot, keeps me going. Thank you very much for that. There we go, that ain't too shabby. We've got a sea slapping wave with some distance out in the background. And I know you can do it. Well, what a lot of fun that was. I hope you got something out of that and you enjoyed it. And if you did, you be sure to tell your friends. But if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell everybody. Also check this other video out of mine. Goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.